What's going on, guys? My name is Gray and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be going over the Mp5, and this is the best class setup for it in Warzone. Now there are two builds on it, so I would recommend staying a little bit longer in the video. That way you guys can see the second build that really depends on your game style and how you like to play. But for those of you guys that just want the class, here it is. You can go. That's why I'm calling this series Cut the Shit, because I'm trying to save you guys time. You want to get back into Warzone and go get those kills. So this is the class setup. Now I'm going to explain it a little bit more and basically just go into why everything's on it. But if you just wanted the class setup, do me a huge favor, leave a like and then you could be on your way. But with that said, we're going to get into the attachments. Now I'm going to save the barrel for last, and then you'll see why there's a second variant on this build. So starting off with the laser, I think the 5MW laser is actually way better than the TAC laser, even though you get ADS speed on the TAC laser. Now, ADS speed is good, but with all the other attachments on this gun, it already has an insane ADS speed. So the laser is really there for that hip fire accuracy if you're rushing a building and there's multiple people. If you don't even have time to pull out or to ADS, then that hip fire accuracy is there. Obviously, you get it with the TAC laser as well. But the thing that I care about the most is the sprint to fire speed. And this is why I think the 5MW laser is so much better than the TAC laser. Because even though you could get your ADS faster, the sprint to fire speed is huge, because you can get your gun up quicker when sprinting into a building and pushing it. Like if you didn't know somebody was there, or even if you did, either way, any scenario, getting your gun up when you're sprinting is huge, because if you get caught off guard, especially in sprint, then you're going to take some shots before you can return fire. So having that sprint to fire speed is a must. Moving on to the rear grip, we're using the stippled grip tape. Sprint to fire speed, again, this is huge, and this is why this variant of the Mp5 is by far the best, because your sprint to fire speed and ADS speed is increased, especially with this one attachment. But this one's an absolute must on the build. Moving on to the ammunition, I'm rocking the 45 round mag, and really, you know, pretty self-explanatory. You don't necessarily need it. If you wanted to run a stock, optic, or perk, then you don't need the 45 rounds. But if you're using this for your close range weapon, you want to have as many bullets as you can to kind of clear a building. So I would really recommend leaving the 45 rounds on, and that's what I use whenever I use the gun. But moving on to the underbarrel, you want to use the Merc foregrip. This gives you recoil control and hip fire accuracy. Now, most people would use the commando or the operator, but using the Merc gives you that extra hip fire accuracy. So coupling that with the laser, if you don't even want to ADS, you could still beam people just with your hip fire, and you would laser them very, very quickly. Now, moving on to the barrel, the reason I saved this for last is because this could be interchangeable. So I'm using the subsonic suppressor, but it's also a barrel, like, because you could also put the monolithic suppressor on the muzzle. But using this, you get ADS speed and sound suppression. Whereas if I were to take this off and put monolithic suppressor on, you lose ADS speed, but you get that sound suppression and you get damage range. But we don't need damage range when we're using this gun, because this is your secondary most of the time. If you're out here slaying people with Mp5, keep doing you. It's not for range. This is the SMG. This is meant for your close quarter fights, and I honestly believe having this extra ADS speed with the sound suppression is huge. But this is where the second variant of the gun comes, because you don't necessarily need this suppressor. If you guys are already using your SMG, that means you're up close to your opponent. So they already know that you're there, they already know that you're in the building, and they're already getting shot at. So you really don't need the suppressor on the gun, and then that opens up more opportunities for yourself. So if you guys are already pushing and already in there, they know that you're there, then you could throw on sleight of hand. And if you guys are playing quads a lot, sleight of hand might be the way to go, because you can get that reload in very fast and then go and take down the next opponent, the next team member that comes after you've downed one. That sleight of hand is huge. But if you can bear without sleight of hand, then I would go for the collapsible stock. You get extra ADS speed and movement speed. So if you don't care about that sound suppression, then throw on the stock. If you care about having that reload time, then I would throw on sleight of hand, and then that would be the other build that I would use. But I just wanted to give you guys both spectrums of it. You could rock the suppressed version and just really slay and get that extra ADS, or take it off, throw it on the collapsible stock, you get that same ADS speed but just without the suppression. And then having that perk, the sleight of hand, just being able to reload your gun when you're in the middle of a fight sometimes is really huge and could allow you to come away with a dub in that fight. So thank you guys for watching. Again, this is my series of Cut the Shit, where I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible, give you guys the explanation, give you the gun, and then you're all good to go. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and leave a like on the video, I'd really appreciate it. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn that bell notification on to all, and be part of the Gray Gang. I love you guys. Peace.